How are you,
Next
Casey?
up, we've got Casey Hasten, the one, the only. Oh man, look at that. Hey, Casey, what's going on?
It's like I haven't seen you in forever. Can you hear me okay?
I know. What's going on, Casey? How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I'm so excited that we're kind of getting released from our bondages of being at home and we're back in the office. I don't know about you guys, but back in the offices, restaurants are opening, life is just getting good again.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love it. I love it. We're not quite in our office yet. I'm in my office right now, so but love the background you got there. The
Thank you.
wearevip.com.
I try to.
I know there was some questions that we were supposed to ask you. I'm just going to go completely off of that, if that's okay with you.
You do whatever you want. That's what I was telling him the other day when I found out you were going to be interviewing me, and I was like, "Oh, Trevor knows what to ask."
Yeah. We're good. We're good. First of all, for those of you that don't know Casey Haston, she's with We Are VIP. Tell us a little bit about the program over there and what you do.
So my first job is I'm a recruiter. I'm an executive recruiter in the accounting and finance space. I'm the director of recruiting here at VIP, and that is what I do first and foremost. My second job is I'm so fortunate that I get to host our company podcast, We Are VIP. So that's what I do. And I help people find jobs. And in fact, I think that there are a couple of our job listings posted under opportunities on Career Launch 2020. So be sure and check those out too.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, so I got some of these questions up here. I'm pulling them up. I'm trying to do what they want me to do here. So okay. I got a question here that says, what kind of support did you receive when deciding to make your pivot?
So let me talk about my pivot first of all and what that looked like. And, one of the things that Ron was just saying, is a favorite topic of mine, and that's passion. And I believe that if you find your passion, you'll never work a day in your life, right? I say that all the time. And so I got a mic drop. Nice already. So my first career was in accounting. And I don't know if y'all can already tell, but that probably wasn't the best choice for me because I like people too much. And so I did that for about 20 years, stuck it out, I was never excited to go to work. I could do the job, but it wasn't my passion, right? And so I met with a recruiter when I was looking for a job in accounting. She was an accounting and finance recruiter. And she helped me realize, she kind of coached me and helped me realize that I didn't like accounting. And she invited me to try this crazy thing called recruiting. And I was like, at first I was like, no. And then
She saw something in you, right? She saw it in you. And I think that's so important. We were talking about that earlier about sometimes you need somebody, a coach, a mentor, somebody who can look inside you and see something that maybe you don't see.
Right. And as a coach, we know that our clients have those answers within them. They know the answer. They just need somebody to help bring it out. That's what a coach is there for, right? And so when I switched to recruiting, that's when I really found my stride and I found my passion because I love to help people. And the way that I do that is my tagline on my LinkedIn is changing people's lives one job at a time. And that's what I do. And so that's my passion. So the question was, what kind of support did I receive when I was making my pivot? And I will tell you, very little. You got to, and there's one person that was very supportive, and that had he not, and that's Steve, my boyfriend of a very long time. He was very instrumental in saying, go, try this out. You want to try it out, just go do it. I'm your safety net, right? And so that's what gave me the confidence to go forward and make such a huge career change, lose that salary because I'm commission only, that's a big risk right there, right? And, and just really go forward. But I think more importantly, don't listen to the naysayers when you find your passion. They don't know what's good for you. They only know what's good for them, right? So just because they say, don't do that, it's too big of a risk. Don't listen to them. You've got to make that decision on your own.
Yeah, you want to, get some counsel and get some advice. Like I remember when I took the leap of faith and got into financial services, I remember I really wanted to know my father's opinion, right? He's I look up to him. He's an amazing human being, and I wanted to know his opinion. And he didn't exactly think it was going to be, all that in a bag of chips. But I took the leap of faith anyways, and he trusted me to know that I was going to be successful in whatever I wanted to do, right? And so, but yeah, I agree with you. You don't always have to listen, but I mean, it's okay to go and get advice and ask questions and to seek out counsel. But that doesn't mean you have to listen to it all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
well, all right, let me see if I can pull up another question in here. I'll try to keep to their format. Sorry, let's see what we got here. What does a work, does this work okay? No, wait. Okay, so I'm just reading questions off this thing. You know what? I don't need to go over this. We're just going to roll with this thing.
Let's just go.
How did you get out of your comfort zone to make that leap of faith? I know you talked about your boyfriend helped you out with that. What are some other fears that came up that, maybe have held you back or that you have had to overcome?
I can tell you, so I'm actually in coaching school right now, and these are the exact things that we are analyzing within ourselves, and that's our limiting beliefs and, the gremlins that come out and say things. And I will tell you, it's really interesting how, and I'm doing a visual representation of my gremlin right now, and I was writing down all my fears, but, imposter syndrome.
What was it?
Imposter syndrome is a big one. Like, who do I think I am that I can go host a podcast or I can come talk to people on Career Launch 2020? And that's one thing you have to believe that you are there for a reason, right? If you didn't have something of value to share, you would not be invited to share that information. And so getting over that I'm not good enough mentality is a big fear when you're making a pivot, and that you have to be able to address. And I will tell you, my gremlin is a Raggedy Ann doll, because I was a freckled-faced, redheaded girl growing up and the subject of much bullying.
Oh, that's messed
I can't
up.
believe that. That's okay. Do not feel bad, Casey. I was called Platypus for years, so don't feel bad. Everybody's been there.
I had to add the freckles on it, though, on my little Raggedy Ann, because they don't come with freckles.
They don't. They should, because she's a redhead.
I know.
They don't. Not the new ones anyway. The old ones do. The really old ones do.
Yeah, I think I found one for like a couple $1,000s with freckles, and I was like, I will get a marker and draw those on.
Wow. I actually defended people that got bullied on. That's what I did. I was the defender in school.
That absolutely does not surprise me,
I
Trevor.
believe that 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, not at all. So
I rode the short bus, believe it or not. I did. I rode the short bus. I was in a special ed class, and so I got to see some people that actually had some some challenging things, and my disability was ADD and blah blah blah. No, I didn't have a disability. I just needed to channel my energy.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways.
Yes.
But
100%.
Short bus, and I saw people with real disabilities, and I saw those people get picked on, and I had to go defend. I just had to. So.
Good for you.
So I know Catherine, she's frozen again. This keeps happening, but it's all good. It's all good. Can you hear me, Kate?
I can
hear
you.
Me again? Can y'all hear me?
Barely, a little bit. What are some other things that we talked about? Your gremlins, right? What is another lesson that you think would be important for somebody who is stepping out into the unknown, right?
And I think this is kind of be a repeat of what y'all were talking about earlier, but I think you have to be prepared to fail. You've got to fail forward, because if you're not failing, then you're not trying hard enough, right? You're just standing still. I mean, I can't think of a single successful person that went out there and was successful 100% of the time. Warren Buffett. No, it
doesn't happen. You read a lot of books and a lot of books about mindset and the Go-Giver. Didn't you interview the author of the Go-Giver recently?
I did. Bob Berg. In fact, his episode just released yesterday, and it is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
So what are some of the, best books? Because you're always recommending me with books. Best books, Casey Hasten.
Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
Go-Giver. And the reason I say Think and Grow Rich is because that one stood the test of time. I believe that book is 80 years old now and still is very relevant in today's climate. The Go-Giver, because I think that if we were all go-givers, we wouldn't have any problems. We wouldn't be seeing these riots and stuff like that right now, right? And it's just a wonderful philosophy to follow. And then I got 2 more books. The 5-Second Rule, Mel Robbins. Amazing. Everybody should read that. And then Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod.
So the 5-second rule, I've heard of that, and I've heard her talk about it, which is like you have 5 seconds to kind of like make a decision, right? Like you think about it, and then whether you're uncomfortable or not, you just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just do it, right?
Well, you actually have to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's crucial.
Oh, okay. All right. See, I did it backwards. Okay, cool. So you got to count backwards, and then you just take action, right? You just do it.
That's the important thing, is because, and it's all backed by science, because if you do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you put an action to it and don't give yourself time to think about it, then you will do it. You will trick your brain into doing it.
Yeah, totally. I like that. I mean, some of the times when I've had been the most uncomfortable, and if I just jump out there and do it, I've seen the most growth in my life, and so it's always exciting. I now have trained myself, whenever I start to feel that anxiety or that tingly feeling, that means time to go. Like it means time to take action. If I feel uncomfortable, it's a good thing. That means growth is happening. So I like that. That's I haven't read those books. You know me. I've been given so many books, and I've got so many on my list. I got a stack of this high.
I hear you. I went through and counted all the books I hadn't read the other day. You want to guess how many I had?
How many?
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. 42.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'll probably have like that too. People are always giving me books, and I haven't read them all. But what are some other things that would keep your mindset positive in a time like right now with COVID going on and the riots and just everything that's happening around us? It can seem real easy to get negative. What are some things that you would do or would recommend to keep a positive mindset?
So first of all, a positive mindset is critical, right? Whatever you focus on grows. I think that for me, I keep a gratitude journal. And so every morning I start off my day with gratitude, and that sets the tone for the positive mindset. I'm also a big believer in meditation. And I'll do a lot of meditations like that set your mind thinking positively, or, affirmations or something like that. But I think those are the things. We call it level 1 energy. It's like victim mentality, and people get into this, oh my God, the whole world's against me. And then the mind starts looking for proof that the whole world's against you, instead of looking for, the disproof that it's not, because maybe somebody just bought your coffee in line, for you.
Can y'all hear me now?
Oh, so much better.
Hi. So we're going to do it like this now. So Murphy's Law, Trevor, you cursed us. You cursed us with your Murphy's Law nonsense. You did it. Juju on you. So we're gonna do the show this way for now on. I'm gonna be on the phone from now on. Gonna just shift around. So Casey, sorry, I haven't been able to participate.
You're fine.
I apologize.
Trevor and I could talk all day.
But I'm so excited though to see you though. I mean, you're one of my faves. You got such good energy. I've been talking you up so much, and I really appreciate you coming on today. And guys, if you have any questions, those of you watching, and first of all, we do know that the video on the site's been a little funky. That is actually a technical issue that is beyond our control. It seems to be something going on with Wix, who runs our site. So my apologies, but you can still click on that link on the YouTube and watch, obviously, as you're all doing. But sorry for that inconvenience. Again, Murphy's Law. I'm telling you, Trevor, you hoaxed this today.
I didn't do that.
But the rest of the site is working though. And yes, please see Casey's listings on the opportunities page. Check that out. But Casey, one thing I wanted to ask you about too, because you light up, you talk about your show and you get so excited. And I think that's a mission that we both kind of share, that we just wanted to help people. We wanted to give more information. And we're both recruiters, right? We've been doing this for a long time. We know the drill. How much more important is it now for people to be sharing information like we are and to be reaching out than it was before?
I think now, especially because this is our primary mode of communication is through like Zooms or YouTubes or stuff like that. I think that it is so important that we come together globally and, share that information and help people get through this time, because I've been very fortunate that, and I know Trevor and probably you have too, that I haven't had to face, the threat of a layoff, but, it's hit close to home. My sister was caught in it. And she was laid off, and I was having to help her go through the motions of all the virtual interviews and all that kind of stuff. So I think if you have information like that, share it. And you don't have to have a fancy studio to do it. You don't even have to have a fancy mic.
No, obviously. No, seriously.
I love that topic, is that you don't have to have all the fancy equipment and everything. I mean, I think we're on StreamYard, which is a service it's a subscription-based service.
And there is a free version, by the way.
There's a free version, right? The point is to get out and get that message out. And even when things go wrong, like we were talking about Murphy's Law, hey, it's going to happen. Expect it. Don't expect perfection when you first start anything in life. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. It's actually kind of cool.
Be okay with messing up. Be okay with it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's all good. Just keep going. It means you're growing. Growth is happening. Because otherwise, if you're waiting for perfection, you'll never step out and you'll never do it, and you'll be stuck in the same place you were 10 years ago.
Forever. Yes, it's very, very true. I've seen it time and time and time again that's completely accurate. And by the way, real quick shout out, we are back up and running on our website thanks to my COO and our guest today, Joel Knapp. Woohoo! So quick shout out, mic drop. So shout out to him real quick. But I also wanted to ask you, Casey, because I'm dying to know, because I love to ask other recruiters this question. What do you do to differentiate yourself from other recruiters? Because we both know there are some what I call phone jockeys recruiters, that aren't really recruiters. They don't really know what they're doing. They just sit there and pick up the phone. So how do you differentiate from that, and even from other good recruiters? How do you differentiate?
Well, the first thing that I did, and this again is not something everybody has to do, but number one, I build relationships. I don't go in hard charging. I don't work with a ton of candidates. And when I do work and I work on the client side as well, I'm going in, I'm not asking for business right off the bat. I'm building that relationship first. And I think that's so important. But outside of the soft skills, I have been working with my partners here at VIP and have, and alongside them, and I like to call myself, instead of an entrepreneur, an intrapreneur, because I work within a company, but I work very, very autonomous. And so I'm building a brand within a brand. And so what sets me apart from other recruiters in this area, because I guarantee you everybody knows who I am in the recruiting world here, I have a personal brand. I have a website that is my personal brand. And then everything I do points back to VIP. But that website where I blog and I put all the podcasts and all the guest appearances and all the news appearances and all that kind of stuff, sets me apart from the other recruiters in the area and sets me up as the hiring expert.
100%. 100%. And I will tell you too, Casey, that, and really anybody else that's out there listening, that's universal. If you want to set yourself apart in what you do, I mean, Trevor knows, he does it. That's what I do. I mean, even with this show, but otherwise too, you have to set yourself apart, and you have to really put yourself out there, even inside of your company. So you can have a personal, even one-page website that's just who you are and what you do and your content that links back to your company and links back to what you do. And that, by the way, will help you land a job like that if you need to.
Yeah, totally. Yep. There's a lot of job seekers that have branded websites. And you know what? This whole interview thing is a great way to get noticed too. Like if I was a job seeker right now, I would pick up some StreamYard and I would be interviewing, or Zoom. You can do it with Zoom. I would just be interviewing people. Like it could be another job seeker. It could be a recruiter. It could be like, how cool would that be if I'm a job seeker and I'm trying to get the attention of a recruiter, right? I'm trying to get their attention.
Yeah.
And so an outside the box approach would be like, hey, I'd love to interview you on my show.
On my show. Yes, absolutely.
What an outside the box approach and a door opener. But a lot of these job seekers are not doing this stuff. And it's frustrating for me because I teach them all the time, and there's a select few out there that actually take action.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, by the way, guys, this is a great time as we're talking with Casey and we're doing this Q&A. Drop questions in the chat. Trevor, I can't see them anymore, but you can. So people, if you're watching, drop some questions for any of us, all of us. And also, if you'd like to come on and do a little pitch about who you are as a candidate and all of that, you have the next 10 minutes to do so. All you have to do is drop your email in the comments. Our Nina will see it, and she will bring you in, and we can hear what you've got going on, because all of us have opportunities. So yeah, so absolutely feel free to come on and say hi if you want to.
And I wanted to say too, for those of you that qualify, please look at the qualifications for those roles that we have posted on the opportunity page of Career Launch. I've blocked off the entire rest of my afternoon for you guys. So
awesome.
Yeah, so just shoot me an email and say that, and I don't know if my email's on here or not, but it's basically my first initial last name at wearevip.com. And
so C. Hasten at wearevip.
Yes. And shoot me an email, and then make sure that you put in the subject line that you saw me on Career Launch 2020 so that you get preference, and I'll send you a link so you can book some time on my calendar.
And guys, yeah, and she's great. She'll take care of you. She won't ghost you, I promise. She's got some great opportunities, and actually they have additional opportunities too. So if you think that she's somebody who could help you, please connect to her. It's not just what we have posted on our site. She chose kind of her more urgent roles, but they do have others as well. And plus, Casey's a great resource. Let me tell you guys, she will help you. She will reach out. She will give you advice. And definitely watch her show, guys. It's good. I watched it. I really like it. Yeah, so definitely check it out for sure. And Trevor, let me ask, do what?
She is a go-giver.
She is. And you know, I had somebody ask me, they said, why are you going to have somebody else that has a show and that does recruiting on your show? And I said,
those people don't get it. They don't get it.
Yeah, I said, you don't get it. I was like, that's not what this is.
People that are in financial services onto my show because they have a different approach, or they,
yes.
And I'm like, they're not competition.
No, not at all. And
message is my message, and so why would I not bring another perspective, right? And yeah, that person just doesn't get it.
Liz Pike, who was on the show last time, she runs Green Rhino, and she has a merchant services recruiting company. Great girl. And I also recruit within merchant services, and I have a very different model from her. She's actually sent me leads for clients because I was a better fit for her. And I've referred people to her, and we've sent each other candidates. And she told me once, she said, the space is big enough for all of us. Why be greedy? Let's help each other out. Let's work together. And with that attitude, that girl is the queen of merchant services. I mean, you go to any convention. She's on the board of several organizations. She's phenomenal. And guys, a big piece of advice: do that. Have that attitude. And if competition is healthy, and you should be competitive, and I am, Lord knows, highly competitive as a person, but also be giving and make that at the forefront and network and work with your community and get to know. And let me tell you, networking is power. When people know your face and they know your name, that's everything. I know both of these two know that very well.
Visibility is key.
It cracked me up when I was in. Oh, sorry, Trevor.
Here online. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. We keep doing that, stepping all over each other. That's how you do when you're on like these Zoom type of deals. We just.
I know.
So excuse me if I keep stepping on you. Heather Bowden says, "Who are the recruiters that apply online for candidates?"
Oh, I think she means the people that will actually go out and. It's called reverse recruiting. You know it. You know this, Casey, where they get the candidate and they go out and market them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And so it's reverse recruiting is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I don't personally know anyone that does it.
I do that.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. If I have a candidate that reaches out to me that I don't have a role for at that time, I will reach out to my client network and say, hey, do you have anything coming down the pipeline? I have this.
Oh, I do that. Okay. I think she means, but there are people that actually will go to companies that they don't know and market them. I think maybe what she's asking, because I do that too. If I just have a really great candidate, I will present them to people. I did that with Nina, who actually works with us. I did that with her. But no, there are people that actually will just basically help you find a job. That's basically what they do. They just go out and market you like crazy. It's like marketing for candidates. I don't personally know anyone. Yeah. But look up what you would want to do if you wanted someone like that is candidate marketing is usually what that's called. Or even better than that, connect to somebody like Casey, actually Gabby Termel, who I think, yes, she's on later today. They both do things that are kind of linked to that, and they can help you out. They can help you build your network. They can help you build your profile. They can help you with all of that. So you also have that option as well as a backup if you don't want to have to pay a ton of money for the services.
And they can get kind of expensive. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Those kind of services can really get racked up. On that note too. So you're talking about we're talking about kind of different approaches. So what are some of the alternate methods that you use to get candidates that are good ideas that people may not be thinking of, like, oh yeah, I should totally do, like, apply there or use this site to connect to recruiters or to HR?
So alternate methods for the candidates to get in touch with me or for me to get in touch with the candidates?
For you, well, I guess either one, but just someplace that they need to be aware that they need to have their profile and their resume and all of that.
Any groups like on LinkedIn that are related to your space, I'm probably going to be in that group too. And if you're commenting and active, I'm probably going to go check you out. And then probably, if you have a background that I think would work for one of my roles, then I'm going to reach out to you. But if you're not visible, if I can't see you, then I can't find you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I tell people. Yeah, you have to be active to some extent or another, and also when you're on sites like Indeed, make your resume viewable to recruiters. Yes, you'll get some of the people that'll contact you for something completely, asinine and unrelated. But for the most part, and it will happen. I've gotten contacted for all kinds of weird stuff. But you will also get really good recruiters that have those phenomenal opportunities. So make your resume visible. LinkedIn, like she said, get on groups. Facebook has tons of groups. If LinkedIn's not your jam, cool. Get on Facebook. There are tons and tons and tons of professional groups on Facebook, and I get in there and I've gotten candidates off of there. So you can absolutely use Facebook. And then again, and that's kind of perfect for people who are kind of introverted too, because you're not having to speak and all of that, like going to networking events. But if you're comfortable, go to networking events and get out there as well.
I have an interesting thing I wanted to do. This is kind of out of left field, okay? But I think this can help. So, a lot of people are doing, the video interviewing, right, through Zoom and stuff like that. We're talking about being visible on social media, so like doing videos and things like that, right? So, okay, I'm noticing right now the three of us, we're in video currently, but we've got like this, like you notice how Catherine's highest, like her head, right, is the highest, and then Casey, and then me, I'm like the lowest, right? Do you notice?
Yeah,
kind of
we do kind of have like a stagger going, don't we?
Yeah, like that, right? Okay, so, no, go back. I was yeah, there you go. Okay,
Here, let me get just a little lower.
No.
Yeah,
okay, so is the right height, okay, for you to be in the video frame? What is the right height? Okay, I would love. Okay, Casey, your answer first. What's the right height?
You want to be where you do not have too much head space above you, but you do want just a little bit.
Okay, totally. So Casey's actually the winner.
She is. She actually has the best situation.
I've done this a time or two.
Yeah, I'm actually a little low. I could be more up here. I'm sitting in a chair and it just sits me right here. So
when I had the laptop, I felt like I was doing better. With the phone, I'm having a little more trouble because I have to be super still, and so it's like I kind of have a little awkwardness right now. But yeah, typically if you're doing, I know, typically if you're doing a phone interview or whatever, they are right. Look at Casey, how she's centered and everything. Try for that. Now, nobody expects perfection on an interview, so it's okay. Do too make sure that you have nothing weird going on in your background. We're going to have a segment a little bit about candidate do's and don'ts, and I will tell you one of the do's and don'ts right now. Don't have craziness happening in the background when you have a phone interview, please. It's very distracting, and we all understand COVID. We all understand that, it's a hard time and all that. Don't stand outside during a storm. I had that one the other day. Standing outside in a storm, not kidding. And I don't know if he had a tin roof or what, but that sucker was loud. I had screaming, and I mean screaming toddler, and then the mother screaming at the toddler. And I was talking to the dad, and I was talking to the dad.
How do you get the kids just like, ah! And then what?
Well, here's what I didn't understand. I was talking to the father. So I'm like, what? Take that kid in the other room.
No
kidding. Dude, help out.
Let's all work together.
I will tell you. That out of here.
You're right. And I will tell you, I don't mind kids occasionally chiming in. I know that you do phone interviews from home a lot and stuff. I don't mind if I hear your kid in the background a little bit. Like, in fact, I had a kid the other day, 2 weeks ago, he picked up the phone from his dad and goes, hello. and it was fine. And I had a little 60-second conversation with a 4-year-old, and that's fine. I don't mind. It's COVID, so I'll be a lot more flexible. But in normal life, people, please try not to do this. Same thing with animals and all of that. Try to have distraction-free situations.
We talked about this earlier about address the elephant in the room too. So if things aren't perfect where you are, and chances are they're probably not. Your environment.
That's okay.
Address it. Address the elephant in the room, because they're dealing with the same thing because they're in COVID as well, and they may be interviewing you from their home. So get that right off the bat and kind of address that elephant, and it also kind of builds commonality. It can, if they're dealing with the same thing. There's a question from Heather Bowden in here. She says, where do recruiters go first to look for candidates? LinkedIn first, then what's the rest of the list? Like, what's next?
And we'll answer this real quick because we actually have Justin waiting to come on. Real fast. It depends on the role, to be real honest with you. But for IT, I use a thing called angel.co. Really great. LinkedIn, Indeed, a resume database, though, not putting the job out there. And then there's a few other, it's really dependent on the job. I get on specific groups. I get on specific, whatever is going to work best for that industry. It's kind of a hard question to answer. Networking events too.
I'll
oh my gosh.
Trevor's networking event quite a bit just because so that I can help. So I'll
tell you a new thing. That's right. A new thing too that people are doing is they will hire while watching other people's shows. They'll see a guest, they'll see comments, and they will hire off of that. So get on these shows like Who You Know and comment. You will get hired that way.
Real quick,
And
I hired somebody off Trevor's show.
No
there
way.
you go. See?
Remember? Allie.
Oh, Allie.
All right. Well, we got to.
That was
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It was
Congratulations.
Allie on as a guest, and I brought Casey on as a guest, and they just hit it off right there, and she hired her.
Yep.
That's amazing. All right, so that's wonderful news. Thank you so much, Casey, for joining us.
You're so
everybody,
welcome.
please connect to Casey. She's wonderful. She will help you out. And thank you again, everybody, especially Casey for bearing with, and Ron Wall for bearing with us through our technical issues. We do appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day, Casey, and
Thanks, guys.
wish you the best.
Bye.